And so again, that response that we often have is to just restrict more, and especially long term. Because it's like, okay, well, our metabolism, it's like, okay, well, we're either gaining weight or we're not releasing weight, or our energy, like we have fatigue. And so it's like, okay, well, I just need to restrict. And this is going to backfire long term for a lot of different reasons. But one is because when you chronically undereat, it signals to your body a lack of safety. It's a threat. And so oftentimes you're moving into an activated state. It can actually cause more anxiety, more overwhelm, more irritation, more frustration, more anger, and it's negatively impacting your thyroid. And so I have so many women that come to work with me and they've been chronically under eating for years, and it is finally catching up to them because they're undernourished. They don't have, not only do they not have the macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat that they need, but they don't have the micronutrients in the forms of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants for your body to actually do the processes, the metabolic processes that it needs to. And so this is where something like an HTMA test or a hair tissue mineral analysis test, I see patterns come back all the time in minerals are in lows, 4 lows, and that's a depleted state. And so when I see that, it is likely that that woman has been under eating, undernourishing for a long time, maybe even over exercising to go on top of that, or chronic fasting, and then that is impacting their thyroid. So again, from a functional testing standpoint, you can head over to the website and learn more about that. And then when your nervous system is in that protection mode, it's going to conserve. It's conservation, it's protection. Your stress response and your nervous system doesn't care about your metabolic goals or your goal to put on muscle or your goal to recomposition your body. It cares about survival. And so if it is in that constant state of stress and threat because of being undernourished, being overtrained, some pattern of all of that, it's going to conserve. And so when your body feels more safety from nourishing whole foods, wide variety of whole foods, from predictable rhythms around food and light. And you may be surprised to hear, but one of the first things that I work with clients on is around their feeding window. It's not even necessarily what they're eating, it's when they're eating, because that's information to your body and your hormones. As well as that question of what do I need right now and meeting those needs. Because this pattern of doing everything yourself, this pattern of over functioning, overdoing, perfectionism, that is actually what's creating that downshift in your metabolism. And so you will start to see a positive impact and a positive shift when you start to operate from a place of creating more safety, having those predictable rhythms and routines, and eating the foods that are actually giving you the nutrition that you need rather than just calories. So what I would really encourage you to start with is start with eating consistently. Start with, eating breakfast within 30 to 60 minutes of waking and having 30 grams of protein. And if you don't have an appetite, that is a sure sign that your metabolism is not where you want it to be, and also that your cortisol is high. And then have, more of a predictable rhythm to lunch and dinner. Have your body be able to know we are going to get consistent nutrition, consistent nourishment so that we can function in the way that we want. And maybe depending, this is going to look different for each one of you, but maybe actually reducing intensity before you start to increase volume. So if we go back to the whole theme of last week was it's not about always doing more, More is not necessarily better, better is better. And so it's creating awareness around what your body actually needs, because I have found with myself and with a lot of women that I work with is when you actually start to back off, especially if they are working out intensely most days of the week, for a period of time, actually backing off of that signals enough safety and gives the body enough recovery to actually start responding in the way that they want it to. So your metabolism isn't fragile, and I promise it is not ruined.